like, the only part of a conflict you have control over is yourself, and the Anatomy of Peace just helps you recognize the different ways you can contribute to a conflict so that you can help rectify it. And, as they say, spend more time helping things go right. It's really cool. So, I would also recommend, for another aspect of living in a camper, is thinking about the environment and your footprint on the earth and treading gently upon her. A book I'd recommend for this is A Sand County Almanac by Aldo Leopold. It's a classic. You should read it, check it out. It's really cool. It kind of just chronicles the evolution of this county in the Midwest. Maybe the Midwest, I forget. It's been a while since I read it. But I felt very inspired by the book. And just the chronicle of how plants and animals and people interact with each other and come in and out of existence, and how we can all live in greater harmony and like appreciate how things come in and out. And there are lots of environmentally friendly aspects of living in a camper, like reducing your footprint, living with less. When you pull your camper away, the grass underneath grows back, which is neat. You might want to get into like composting your bathroom waste. We're not doing that yet, but we would like to, because it'll save us money and it will tread more gently on the environment. Oh, another book I would recommend, if you're into that, is called The Big Necessity, which is about how the world handles poop, or the PC term, sanitation. It's a great read. Fascinating. I would also recommend that if you're preparing to live in a camper and you have a religious bent, that you study the scriptures, the Holy Bible, and the Book of Mormon. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we study the Book of Mormon. And there's a lot of stories in the Book of Mormon about what we call the pride cycle, and how people will become prosperous, forget about the Lord, rely too much on their own mental might, I guess, and physical might, and forget the purpose of having wealth, which is to practice pure religion, to feed the widow and the fatherless, and take care of people that need help. So we thought about that a lot as we were changing our finances, simplifying our lives. We wanted to get to a point where we're self-sufficient so that we are better able to help others, to take care of our siblings and our parents, to take care of our friends, to take care of strangers too, and be able to do that more successfully. And I know you don't have to have money to do those things, but you can do a lot more when you do have money, and that's just, I think that's true. Something we did too, we went to the library one time and just checked out everything they had on like Tiny Living, and browsed through and picked up some good tips about minimalism and getting rid of stuff that you're not really using, that you don't need, and then not going back to those things. Like the trick where you take a whole room, box it up, shut the door, and only go back in there when you need something and pull it out, and like leave it there for a few months and see what you actually pulled out as a gauge of how effective and useful things are to you. And you can also follow the maxim of Morrison, who said, keep nothing in your home that you don't know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. I think those are good words to live by. And one of my favorite things in the Book of Mormon is where it talks about how the people were neat and comely but did not wear costly apparel, and just focusing on being neat and clean and having the things that you need, but not taking it to an extreme where you have more than you need. And I love fashion, and I believe that it's an art and a means of expression, so if you have a lot of clothes, that's fine, but like not replacing God with clothes, and not replacing helping the poor with clothes. You know what I mean? And last but not least, there were some documentaries on Netflix that we watched a while back that inspired us to be more serious about living in a small space. One of them was Minimalism, about that guy. He wrote a book about sort of his tragic relationships and how becoming more minimal helped him, I don't know, kind of work on himself and be a better friend and a better neighbor, and we found that really inspiring. We also watched a documentary called The True Cost, which is about fast fashion and its effect on business in emerging markets and the people that work for them, and how habits in a developed country like the United States can have a detrimental effect on other places in the world, and how we should be aware of marketing tactics that encourage you to buy things you don't need, or you won't be well liked, or things like that. Basically, peer pressure for adults. Yeah, that's kind of all I had. I hope that those of you thinking about downsizing to a smaller space found this helpful and inspiring. We, like I said, are enjoying it immensely and would highly recommend it. And we'll catch up with you next time. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments, and we can do more videos in the future. I love all you guys, and I'm grateful for your friendship. We'll see you next time.